Hey up, ladies. We are going to rank each Premier League team's best player. I'm going to go through each Premier League team, decide who the best player is, and then rank him in a 1 to 20 that's going to be there, hopefully. Make sure you're subbed, because a lot of you aren't. I will get you. We'll just get straight in there. We'll go bottom to top in how the table finished, not how this table will look. You get me? So Sheffield United will be first and Man City. They'll be last, but that might not be how it works. You know what I'm saying? So Sheffield United, I mean, there's not a lot to choose from here, is there, Christ? We are probably looking at Hamer for their best player, or Ben Brereton, but he's only been there half a season, so we will stick with Hamer. I really, really like him. At Coventry, it was unreal. He's probably going to end up leaving and going to somewhere like Ipswich or something like that. He can't be playing at Championship again. He's too good, especially for a side that's going to finish at bottom half in Sheffield United. You'd expect all the Sheffield United's good players to leave, so all two of them. Comfortable on ball, passing range, very, very good. One at standouts for a shockingly bad team. He's not being the worst. So I won't have him 20. I'd probably have him 19th. That's where I'd start. And then we'll come to 20th right now in Burnley. This is another team with very little positives because they've been crap all year. Muric in the last 8 to 9 games he started has been really, really good, to be fair, keeper. But I am going to go with Sander Berge, who probably would have been Sheffield United's best player as well, but they sold him to a relegation rival. That made loads of sense. But he is a player, him. 7 out of 10 every week. Don't really excel at anything, I would say, but he's good at everything, if you get what I'm saying. It's not like he's brilliant at passing or brilliant at defending. He's just like average, and then he's here at just everything. But I would say that Hamer for Sheffield United has probably had a better season than Sander Berge, so I would put Berge 20th and Hamer in 19th. Final relegated team is Luton, sadly, and it just is Barkley in it. It's not a complete whitewash like some people make out. He is the best player, yeah, but not by like some massive landslide. You've got Morris, Ogbene, Alfie Doughter that have all been good. Lokonga's been good on loan as well. I mean, they've got a chocolate teapot for a defence, haven't they? That's why they're going down. Going forward, they're not actually that bad. They're quite good. And a lot of the time, it is Barkley at heart of that. Now, I can't see him running around in Championship for the life of me. That's for sure. I'm not sure what his contract length is, if they've got an option for another year or not. I don't really know how it's working, but regardless, you cannot see someone that good, and no disrespect here, at someone like Luton in Championship. If it was someone humongous, like a Sunderland that goes down, you can see him sort of keeping good players. But I think he'll end up going to Villa. I saw Fabrizio on about that, so that's basically as good as done. But he's had a very good season. He's a very good player, but he still does sit around here. Like, the quality of the Premier is a joke, so I wouldn't have him higher than 18th. Really. So 3 relegated teams have got the 3 worst seasons per player. We're going to go up a little bit though here with Forest and Morgan Gibbs-White. I think this is one of the clubs that's got the biggest skill gap between like player 1 and 2 at your club in terms of talent. Gibbs-White, hands down, is the best player. Creativity just flows through that man's body. This last month especially, Forest aren't even being that bad a side. Despite finishing 4th bottom. He's created 9th most big chances in the entire league. He's got 5 goals as well. That's probably something he could work on in front of goal, but his passing range and his vision is honestly right at the very top of this league. Like, whenever you watch a Forest game, or whenever I watch a Forest game, should I say, I feel like I'm just watching him. He sticks out like a sore thumb how much better he is than everybody else that's got a red top on when he's playing. And that is probably down to position as well. Like, when you stood in 10, you aren't main attraction, aren't you? You're at like heart of everything going forward, which is best thing. So he's had a very good year. I won't have him 17th, like where Forest have finished. I'd probably stick him around 14th. I'll stick in 14th for now. I might change it at end, but I'll stick in 14th. Next up, we've got Brentford. Everybody says Tony's best player at this club, but I'm not even trying to be an edgelord. I don't see that at all. And I'm probably not seeing it because he's been putting knackers on every weekend. But it's not even all to do with that. Mbeumo, for me, is the life of that team. Obviously, Tony's better finisher. He's a killer in front of net, Tony. But Mbeumo is a playmaker that can score as well. He offers a lot more to what Brentford are as a team. They are both quite inconsistent. But if they both end up leaving, then Brentford will go down because they are hands down the best 2 players at Brentford. I'm trying to think of a way I can put this in terms of how I think about Mbeumo compared to Tony. If Tony had a bad game, you'd tell straight away because he honks if he's not scoring. He offers nothing else other than goals, which obviously is not a bad trait to have, is it? But Mbeumo offers a lot more. Majority of attacks come down his side. His key passes per 90 at most for Brentford by a mile. I think he's the best player, but I've still been quite underwhelmed by him and Brentford in general. But they are just a bus stop and a tourist hotspot these days, so I will put him down in 16th. Everton finished 15th, they are next. It's Pickford. It's Pickford, it's not even worth getting into. This has been same for about 4 years. England's #1. They've conceded 4th least in division, which is, they've had more goals conceded at top 3, and that's it. Which isn't all down to Pickford, I'm not saying that. It's how Dyche sets his team up. Goodison at home. It's obviously when it gets firing, it's an horrible place to go and try and win or to even try and score a goal. Tarkowski and Branthwaite in front of him, 2 very, very good centre halves. But Pickford is a Champions League level goalkeeper that's finished in bottom 5 for the last 3 years. He's that good. Now, if these get some proper forwards, Everton, they could challenge for a Europe spot again. But the defensive unit is so much better than up here. It gets worse the further up pitch you go when you think about Everton. Pickford's the best player, very consistent. You rarely ever see him drop a clanger, if ever. And he's a good lad, isn't he? He's a good lad. Nearly top 10. We'll put him 11th, Pickford. 14th, Wolves. Now, Cunha and João Gomez I like. Both very, very good. But Wolves' best player, quite comfortably when he's fit, is Neto. Only problem is these days he gets injured quite often. It's happened to him a couple of times this season. He's only played 20 games, which you might think would put your elite level teams off you, like from going after him. But these are the only ones that he'd leave Wolves for, you'd imagine. City and Newcastle, big oily nerds are both looking at him, and it's not really surprising how good he is when he's fit. He's only played 20 games, but he's got 2 goals and 9 assists in them games for a team that finished 14th, and in reality are quite crap compared to a lot of teams around him. Top player when he's fit. Goes in there. 13th. Fulham. Every time I have to talk about these, it makes me bored. They're such a nothing club. They're a slightly better supported Brentford. Another tourist attraction that's previously had a neutral stand. How can anyone take this seriously? Now, I really like Anthony Robertson, that left back. He's probably one of the best left backs in the league, especially outside your big lads. But Palhinha is and probably will be, while ever is there, Fulham's best player. He gets all over the place, covers every blade of grass constantly. He's just good at everything. Not daft, but he's constantly like a 7 out of 10 whenever I watch Fulham, which is quite rare because I couldn't think of anything more boring. So I will stick him 17th. Bournemouth next. Solanke. Easy. He's been on fire. Finished 6th in Prem Top Scorers Award this season. Bournemouth are building a little bit of a super team these days as well. Signing under 23s constantly. A lot of potential. They're getting big names as well, like Milo Kirksus from Alkmaar at time. Some big players at the signing. And a proper number 9 at top at pitch and shoot you at table, and that's exactly what Solanke has done for him. They finished 12th, nowhere near any sort of scrap at bottom end. 19 goals for a team like Bournemouth, no disrespect here, is a serious achievement in Premier League. That amount of goals for a smaller team is rare. Like Solanke this season will be a bags man. Next season, who knows? They might try and challenge something, but it is getting harder and harder as Premier League goes on, which is how it's been designed. But for as good as seasons have gone, Solanke can go in 9th, I think. Good season. Brighton, they have been smelling this year. They have really been smelling. Their squad is not ready for extra games that you get in Europe yet, and they've dropped off a little bit as a result. Nothing crazy, it was to be expected, but they have dropped off a little bit. And for me, it's Old Reliable that's been the best player again in Grob. Another playmaking genius, 3rd most passes in the entire league, and there's not been a lot of standouts this season for Brighton. Like, back end season have been really bad, but Grob is good. Grob is good as a standout player for one team in terms of season that they've had. Quite near bottom of this list, I would say. They've not got a player or a couple of players that are miles better than everyone else, like a Forest or in Everton, for example. So I would put Grob down in 15th. Palace? Oh, the fuck are Palace? It's Elisa. I mean, they've been shit hot since Glasner come in. They're a super team. But the best player won't be playing for a small Premier League team for much longer. To be fair, Imeze and Mateta at new Messi, Suarez, Neymar, it's easy. What? Easy O. No, it's not MSN. It's EMO. It's the emos. 10 goals, 6 assists. The ceiling for him doesn't even exist. He could go anywhere. And I don't even think he'll end up going to like a Man United or a Chelsea. You know, one at big teams with loads of money that are shit. I think he'll go straight from Palace to one at super teams. Either if it's in this country, one of your top 3, or if it's like a PSG or a Barca, whatever. But he really is that good. The potential is off scale. But as far as this season's concerned, it's been really good, but there has been better. So I would have at least a sneaking into top 10, whatever in 10th. West Ham! Now, this is a bit of a dodgy one trying to pick out their best player, because as a team these days, West Ham are on something, man. You'd back them to be a constant, ever-present in top 10 with the squad level that they've got. Paqueta, Bowen, Ward-Prowse now, all top players, Areola as well. But I would have, and I'm not even just saying this because he scored an overhead kick the other day, I would have Kudus down as their best player. I am a sucker for tricky wingers. These modern day wingers that just sidestep the fullback for 10 seconds, then pass backwards, make me sick. His dribbling's good. He can take a man on. He's got flair trait equipped. He's not boring. He can finish. I love him. But for a best player per team ranking thing, West Ham are a very good side. Kudus is brilliant. But this season, it's nothing outrageous. I don't think I'd have him 12th. Manchester United, who finished 8th in the Premier League. Holy shit. It is not close. It's not close. Bruno is their only serious player. Højlund will come good, and he'd probably be closer to winning this if he wasn't surrounded by idiots. He will be somewhat good. But Bruno at minute is just way in front as their best. 10 goals and 8 assists for a team this crap is quite impressive. They're one of the worst coach teams in the league. On expected points, which takes into account your expected goals for and against every game, Man United should have finished 6th bottom. Their expected points is about 20 less when they actually finished on, and they finished in 8th. But the fact that they've got some half-decent players has saved Ten Hag from being drawn and quartered, because how crap has he got that side playing? No tactics, just pure vibes, and Bruno is one of the very few shining lights in that team quality-wise. He's easily the best player, even if he is a complete rat, but he's not even close to top 3, or even top 5 when you consider other players that are coming up. So it's 8 for Man United, and it's 8 for Bruno on this list. Newcastle! These are very similar to West Ham, these lads. Fantastic team now, one you'd always think are going to be in top 10-ish. You've got your big 6, like a Newcastle, West Ham and Villa, that make up 9 of probably your top 10 now, which will basically be every season from now on. Because once again, that's how Premier League's been designed. It's shit. Newcastle have got Joe Linton, Harvey Barnes, Trippier, Gordon, Bruno, Isaac. They've got the foundations there for a super team. It's just trying to fill gaps in every other position to try and catch up to super teams that are above them in the league. But they're not doing bad. Bruno G, Isaac and Gordon have been standouts for me this year. And I have marginally settled on Bruno. Just. Like, Gordon's got 11 goals and 10 assists. Brilliant winger. Isaac is one of my favourite players in this league to watch. Full stop. I think he's best striker here, apart from Ireland. He's got 21 goals this season. But Bruno, for me, is someone that should be at Man City or Arsenal or Real Madrid. He seriously is that good. 15 goal contributions from middle of park. Not taking any set pieces. He runs his bollocks off every single game. He's constantly available. He's missed 1 all season. Pressing's brilliant. Very intelligent bloke as well. You'll never really catch him out of position. Seriously, top end player. It'd be a massive shame, really, if Newcastle had to let him go because of FFP. Because when are you ever going to get a bloke this good again, really? He's unreal. Chelsea, who've somehow brought it back and finished 6th after being bottom half for majority of the year. Have a guess who I'm picking? It's Palmer. All day, every single day, it's Palmer. Caicedo and Gallagher have both been really good as well. But Palmer, for me, straight off bat, has had one of the best seasons in the world. Never mind per team, per Premier. It's one at best full stop in world. 22 goals and 11 assists. For someone that into striker, for someone that finished 6th, 28 points off City, and he's putting these numbers up. He's joint 5th at most big chances created. His 2nd top goal scorer in the league. He's got 2nd most assists. No words can do this bloke justice for the year that he's had. One of the best creators, finishers, and passers at ball in entire league. He's one of the best at all of them. He's up there at the top of every attacking stat. He's in them all. He's in every top 10 stat. It's him. He has got to start for England this year. When you look at and you hear stats like that, we've got to use this bloke properly, and he will bring us it home. For me, I mean, he's easily top 3, easily, and probably quite easily 2nd as well, so I'll stick him there. Top spur? It's just Son in it. Let's not even kid. Like Madders, very good. Pedro Porro, very good. Van de Ven, very good. Vicario, very good. But Son, wow, that guy is something. 17 goals and 10 assists. One of the best finishers I've literally ever seen. And with Kane leaving as well, it could have gone one or two ways, couldn't it? You're either like dropping off a cliff because your best mate who's one of the best finishers in history is left, or you can excel now that you're main man, and he's definitely gone that way. It's been a really good season, I think, for Tottenham, finishing 5th after losing Kane as well. A lot of new incomings, a lot of new manager. It's all over the place. Really good season. And it's a good season for Son as well. I will put him 6th. Villa. It is Watkins easily. They finished 4th. It's an unbelievable season. Villa will be back in Champions League again. It's a huge achievement. And it is down to Emery, right? Because he gets his 9s firing always. 19 goals, 13 assists, which is most in league as a forward. 2nd most goal contributions in league, only behind Palmer, and that's it. England's 2nd best striker, easily, which is behind one of the best to ever live. Brilliant player, brilliant year. Champions League for Villa, Champions League for Watkins. 4th. Now, remaining positions, we've got 5th, 3rd, and top. And we're going to Liverpool here. Pure aura defending is back. This guy's been a menace all year. Not his best, because that level I don't think is even achievable anymore. But he ain't far off. Verge has been unreal. And it annoys me like you will not believe when people pull defending stats to compare centre-halves. It's stupid. Oh, how can Van Dijk be good because Tarkowski's got more tackles than blocks? Well, yeah. He's playing for a team that defends majority of the time. Obviously, a defender in a defensive team is going to have better defensive stats because he defends more. I mean, there's better. I reckon these things stuck in your head, the best way to judge any player, regardless of what position they are, but especially centre-halves. You can't use hyper-inflated defending stats for centre-backs because it benefits players that play for crap teams. Van Dijk is an all-timer. This has been a very good year from him. He's been Liverpool's best player. I'm sticking him 5th. No, sorry. Arsenal next. These lot have got some serious superstars now. Saliba, Gabriel, Rice, Odegaard, Saka. You could probably take any of these 5, really, and they'd all be sat in and around top 3. In fact, if you probably had a list of the top 15, 20 players in this league, Arsenal would have 5 there at a minimum, and it'd be them. But I am going to settle on Odegaard. That guy pulls strings from minute 1. Again, another one on Big Chances Created list is joint 5th. He's just at the heart of everything that Arsenal do. He's at the heart of a side that if it weren't for 115 charges comboed with greatest manager ever, that it'd have won league. I feel like he's always an 8 out of 10, constantly. His passing range is brilliant. The vision's there. He can score. He's everything you want from an attacking midfielder. Technically, he's just brilliant. He can do everything. But does he rank number 1? What a stupid question. Of course he doesn't. And that is because John the General Stones is number 1. Normally. But this season, however, it's Phil Foden. City have got 4, 5, 6 at best players in world. They've got best manager in world. They've got most financial doping charges in world. But Foden has been the best player in this league, hands down for me this year. My hands are physically down. You've got Haaland, De Bruyne and Rodri. 3 that have been or always will be in contention to win every individual award there is every season. And Foden, to me, has outshone all of them this time round. That West Ham game to win title just sums him up this season. Minute 1, ball's coming into him. Steps in, steps back out, sends Ward-Prowse for an hot dog. Half turn, edge up box, top corner. Minute 1. The talent is just off scale. Like I've said before, he just looks like he's playing 5-a-side with his mates on biggest stage. He's taking the piss every week with how effortless he makes everything look. He's got passing range, vision, dribbling probably best in league. He can score from anywhere. He is De Bruyne Jr., soon to be senior. The future football, he is up there and he's waving flag. This little fella is bringing it home. He's the best player in this league, numero uno. And that is my list done. Everybody in here has had a good season, but this is the order that I would settle on. I've got Foden, Palmer and Odegaard as my top 3, and then a relegation 3 from the relegated 3 because they've been that crap realistically in Burge, Hamer and Barkley. Let me know what you think. Thank you all for watching as always, and I will see you in a bit, young'uns. City.